at the Department of the Digital Economy. So this is a joint seminar with Dr. Lei as well. And yeah, we have a very special guest all the way from Brazil. Jéssica, yes. Mendes, welcome. So you're going to talk about agriculture, startups. So yeah, really looking forward to your talk.
Thank you very much. So our lecture today has the theme of modern agriculture and the role of AgTech startups, which are the technological AgTechs of agriculture. Our theme involves agriculture, innovation, and sustainability. But, okay, it's working. Oh my God. It's not passing the slide, sorry. Oh, now it went. Sorry, guys. So before I go on to the actual theme of the lecture, I would like to present a bit about my research group in Brazil. My research group is made of professors, doctors, masters, and undergraduate students who focuses on a range of themes, mainly circular economy and sustainability, where the cultural, social, and environmental aspects are studied in an ecosystem. Sustainable entrepreneurship, where we focus more on the startups that are from the Brazilian area, that focuses on sustainable technology. Digitalization and Industry 4.0, conscious business, and a new research team that started this year, which is diversity. Be that as sexual, skin, anyway, all kinds of diversity. I'm mostly working on sustainable entrepreneurship, and I also have a little bit on circular economy and sustainability. So the leader of our group is Professor Matheus Gerolamo. He is an associate professor of USP, which is one of the Latin America's best universities. He has 20 years of experience in research, teaching, and consultancy projects. Professor Matheus mainly focuses on change management, resistant to change, and culture in all kinds of organizations. And now that he has been transferred to ESALC, which is a university of USP that focuses on agriculture, he's trying to develop these teams for agribusiness. So a little bit about myself. I'm a doctoral student, just finishing my PhD. This is my last year. I have a bachelor and a master's in production engineering. I'm a kind of person that travel a lot during my academia. I've done my bachelor's in one state of Brazil, my master's in another, and my doctorate in another state. I also did a short internship in Germany, where I worked with Professor Markus Heilen at Leuphana Universität, which is considered Germany's most sustainable university. And they develop a lot of research focused on sustainability in various fields. My research interests are aligned with maturity models for agriculture startups, which is the thesis I'm developing, but I also work with digital transformation in agriculture, green entrepreneurship, and green practices. So now for the agenda of this presentation. I will talk a little bit about modern agriculture, the role of agriculture startups, and I will present some of the papers, just the title, so you guys can check it out if you want to have a more in-depth understanding of those themes. So regarding modern agriculture, agriculture has been developing ever since we are developing as a civilization, but nowadays we face a very serious problem. We have to produce more because our population is growing at a rapid rate. However, we need to find ways to mitigate the negative effects of agriculture on resources. So we must increase productivity and sustainability together. There are many ways to do so. Right now, modern agriculture is focused on the development of digital technologies to try to increase this and mitigate the negative effects of our production. So there are many technologies being developed. I could cite drones, sensors, IoT, artificial intelligence, which is right now transforming data into actual intelligence, which translates to a more efficient decision-making for the farmers. Farm managers and leaders can now harness this AI technology to predict yields, manage resources more effectively, and navigate market fluctuations. So it is the hope and it is the theory that successful integration of digital technologies in agriculture can, in fact, increase productivity and sustainability. However, for this implementation to work, a strong leadership is necessary. Why do we talk about this? Because there are many researchers that have already proved that farmers have a high resistance to change. So we need leaders who are engaged with these farmers, not just to sell the technology, but also to demonstrate the importance of that technology and how it can actually work. So we can try to mitigate this change resistance that people in agribusiness have to always want to do something the way they've always done. So we see that the workforce, the employee, must be at the center of this. We have to be able to, yes, implement these technologies that can improve sustainability, but we also have to be careful for the disruptive aspect of that, because we can't just expel farmers and families who have been working for generations because a robot or a sensor is going to substitute them. We need to be able to train this workforce so they can work with the technology to better the sustainability in agriculture, which is a great challenge right now, especially in development countries where the knowledge on technology is very lacking. So in the scenario of promising potential digital technologies, we see open for positive societal impact. However, as I cited, this must consider the workforce. We have to consider how to guide it towards sustainable, desirable, and ethical pathways. We can't just greenwash the agriculture, say, oh, I introduce a technology that is more sustainable, and that's it. I don't care about my workforce. I don't care who I expelled from the land. I just care that right now I'm reducing my carbon imprint. This is not sustainability. Sustainability has to be seen as a whole. The environmental, social, and economic aspects must be the core of this new modern agriculture. So by reviewing the literature and studying, we have come to realize that digital transformation is the basis for the implementation of these technologies. Digital transformation has been widely studied in industry, and we have a lot of models that analyze the dimensions of this kind of transformation. Because digital transformation is not just to apply a technology. It involves changing the culture, it involves the leadership, it involves understanding what our consumer actually needs. It is a huge debate, a huge problem. One that has been kind of neglected in the literature regarding agribusiness. There are only 5 studies, now with mine 6, that try to identify the dimensions of digital transformation in agriculture. The 5 studies that try to understand that, 2 of them went only with interviews and questionnaires with farmers. So they didn't do a very robust theoretical framework, but they were able to focus on more than one dimension of digital transformation. And the other 3 works, they were focused on one simple dimension of digital transformation that they predefined. They said, oh, this is a dimension because it has been seen in industry. So I will study this for agribusiness. We believe that this was a gap that this made the theories lacking. So we developed a systematic literature review focus on determining what are the dimensions that affect digital transformation in agriculture. By doing that, we have developed this framework that you can see. So this framework starts with the reason a lot of farmers, a lot of leaders try to seek digital transformation. One of the main reasons, at least cited in literature, is the societal growing concern regarding the use of natural resources. So farmers are starting to understand, be it by their own conscience, being by the requirements of other countries and consumers, they are starting to realize that they must be more sustainable. So they are seeking ways to achieve that, one of which is to embark on this journey of digital transformation. We have defined three main dimensions for the digital transformation of modern agriculture, which were external dimension, mixed dimension, and internal dimension. The external dimensions, they are composed of factors that are mostly outside of the scope of a farm management or a farm leader. The mixed dimension, they suffer more influence from the farmers, but they are also very influenced by external factors. And finally, the internal dimensions are mostly focused on the farmers. They are the highest influence. For each of these huge dimensions, we have divided in sub-dimensions, which were sustainability, governance, and economic for the external dimensions, cooperation, technology, and infrastructure for the mixed dimensions, and internal dimensions. If we were talking about my research group, I would say that we will focus on the internal dimensions, which are the basis for a digital transformation. Why? Because they focus on people, knowledge, and skills, and change. And we see many people with the discourse, oh, we are circular, oh, we are sustainable. Okay, but at the first crisis, they forget all about sustainability and they focus only on profit. This is understandable from a business point because, okay, you have to have profits. But if you forget all of your sustainable initiatives, if you go back, then you didn't acquire sustainability as a value. You only say you do, which is a form of greenwashing. So we need to be able to change people in a way that they understand and appreciate the aspects of sustainability that can actually bring a profit. And they focus less on the problems and more on the solutions brought on by sustainability. So this framework is published on an article in Sustainable Production and Consumption. It is a very large paper, so I won't be able to go into full detail, but anyone who wants to read it, it's available. It is our theory that when all of these dimensions work together, we are able to achieve an improvement of agriculture, productivity, and sustainability aspects. However, this framework has not been tested, as much of the research on agribusiness has not been tested in a longitudinal way. Why? First, because it is new, and second, because we have a very big problem with the infrastructure, especially in underdeveloped countries. It's beautiful to talk about digital transformation, but if you don't have internet, you are never going to be able to achieve it. And so this is another aspect that governments especially must be able to work around. So now, what is the role of agricultural startups on this scenario? Where do these technology small players come in? Agricultural startups are focusing on the development of various types of technology. I put here a few examples of Brazilian startups, the fields that they act on. And I've been able to see by reading the literature on German, especially, that they align. So we have startups in precision farming, we have startups in agriculture farming, so in biotech, in traceability, which is using blockchain for making the products more traceable, more transparent. We have AgTech focuses on the finances of selling carbon footprint or selling resources. So as you can see, a wide range of applications for digital technologies are being developed by startups. However, agricultural startups face much of the same problems that normal, let's say, traditional startups face. They are small, sometimes lacking resources. They have a problem on the organizational side. Why is that? Many universities have started startups. They are incubators for startups. However, these startups, they are very focused on the technical aspect. They are amazing at producing technology, sometimes incredible technology, but they don't have the organizational and management background to commercialize this technology, to do a good marketing for this technology, and sometimes to even understand if this technology is something that the farmers actually need, actually want. It is, according to the literature, one of the biggest things farmers complain. They say, oh, okay, I don't understand this technology, I didn't ask for this technology, my problem is that. Why isn't anyone trying to solve it? This is something that we see a lot for people who start these startups. They don't have a farmer's background. So it is a challenging scenario that is starting to evolve because nowadays the young people are starting to assume this familial business. And we see that our generation was born and bred with computers. The generation after us, even more so. So this change resistance towards technology per se is starting to crumble. It is our hope, with the help of research universities, that we can actually change the mindset of farmers so they can be more accepting. Now, on the problems, organizational, especially problems of these agricultural startups, we were thinking about ways to help them to better understand their business model, to better work on their managerial competencies. And there are many ways to do so. Our path was to develop a maturity model for architects so they can identify the points that they lack maturity and work on them so they can be more successful. We did that by conducting a systematic review and an exploratory literature review, and we were able to define 5 dimensions for our maturity model. So we are going to be analyzing external factors, economical factors, technological factors, sustainability, and organizational factors. This model is very broad. It is supposed to be used more as a guide, as a first understanding of the problems faced by the startups. However, each dimension can be a new research to the development of a model focused on that dimension. And each dimension, we have been able to find some aspects, some criteria, which we call subdimensions, that affect and make this bigger dimension. For the organizational, we were able to define 14 subdimensions. I won't focus on everyone, but we can see strategic positioning, business model, training and education, change management, and leadership as highly important. How do I know that those dimensions are the ones we are probably going to be focused? I am conducting data collection, and so far, this is the data that I have been able to verify. This study, it's not yet finished, So I'm showing you guys a lot of spoilers for my future article. But yeah, we have been able to identify some of these aspects that we will focus on our finished maturity model. For the sustainability, we are able to identify 8 sub-dimensions. We are going to cite performance indicators and sustainable development goals as being of high importance according to specialists, which are the pool that we are checking to collect our data. For the technological side, we have seen that demand-driven orientation and data and technology-driven process and services are of high importance for specialists. They see this as something that they must work on so they can be more mature and hopefully more successful. We have 4 sub-dimensions for the economical dimension. Funding and investment has been one that specialists cite as the most relevant, so they can actually grow and mature as a company. And finally, for the final dimension, we have external factors, which we cite 2 sub-dimensions, and the government regulations and tax policies is being seen as the most relevant. So my work is still lacks of, how can I say, an applicable, oh my God, it still hasn't been finished all the applications. So far, it's mainly theoretical. However, I did do a study using LDA, which is a topic model, so I could validate my systematic reviews, and I could mitigate the subjectivity that we sometimes have when conducting a systematic review. So for our published papers, we have this framework that aligns change management and circular economy, showing the opportunities for agribusiness. There are many frameworks involving change management and circular economy, but so far ours is the first and only that looks for the opportunities in the agribusiness sector. We have this paper published that is very interesting for those who want to see the evolution of the team of agriculture startups. It is a bibliometric study. And we have our main paper on the dimensions of digital transformation in the context of modern agriculture that I presented at the beginning of our lecture. These are the papers that I'm involved in, and these are the papers of my line of research. Professor Mateus has many others, but those are the ones I've been involved with. There were some references used in this presentation. I hope I can make these slides available so you guys can check them out and see in more depth the themes that I briefly talked about. And thank you all for the attention. And thank you for all our partners that have actually subsidized this trip in London, especially UTPN, Alcani, and CNPq. Thank you all.
Thank you.